So you apply for a job at Ace Hardware and they haven't emailed you back, so you doubt you got the job. The thing about applying for jobs is that unless if you live in America, they're not going to call you back immediately. In fact, most jobs, as far as I'm aware, they don't call you back until like 6 months after the fact if you apply directly to the place you're trying to get a job at. The only place I know where they hire you basically as soon as possible is small towns, and if you work for a temp agency, because temp agencies put you on the assignment immediately. So it's not that you didn't get the job; it's that they just haven't gotten back to you. However, if you're looking for a job, I wouldn't stop applying. I would not hold your breath on anything. There's a help wanted sign, so I have a better chance of getting it. You know that saying that boomers always say that like you should go into the store and ask people about the job. If there's a help wanted sign on the outside of the place, you should actually walk in and ask people. If it doesn't say that, then don't worry about it. But like, if there's a help wanted sign on the outside of the store, you should walk in and ask people. Walk in, see, ask if you can speak to a manager like a Karen, and say, "Hey, I put my application in. I haven't heard anything back. Is the job still available? I want to know what's going on." What kind of cards did you get, Franklin? But like I said, you should probably just keep applying. I would not hold my breath anywhere. The situation that I'm in is really frustrating because I'm in a place where I need a job and there's actually jobs in the area, but I can't get to them because they're all an hour away and I don't have a car. So I could probably have a job in a few places, but I don't have reliable transportation to get to and from anywhere. Like the bus doesn't come out here. Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Fair enough. BRB? Damn. The two main people who are talking are not in the Discord are not here for us to have this conversation. So I'm trying to carry it myself. It's very hard. I get a few pictures and send them in the Discord. I appreciate it. Make it white. Easier for people to understand. All right. So in our Discord, we were having a conversation. I'm still working on my Kanto Jodo Pokédex binder. Fair enough. Uh, do you know how many cards you have left in order for that to be complete? So in our Discord, we were talking about um loops. Like we're in a state in the world. I would like to zoom in on the actual thing. Thank you. We were talking about how we're like all in like a state in which you want a better life, but it's really hard for you to like do something about beginning a better life because everything feels pointless. I know I'm not the I know the person in the Discord who was talking about this. He's not the only person who feels like that. I felt like that. There I know plenty of people our age who are the zillennial millennial area of life that feel that way. And so we have this feeling of it's a bit too thick. Yeah, all right. You have this feeling of everything sucks. And then we go to stop drawing. I've never actually drawn with my drawing tablet, or I've never actually written with my drawing tablet. So this is a little bizarre, right? So we have this thing where like everything sucks, and then because everything sucks, you stop trying, right? 27 next Thursday. So right, this is probably relevant for you too. I don't know if you have a job or anything, but I'm sure you feel with the maybe political scape or just the way that life is going that everything kind of sucks, and because everything sucks, you stop trying to change everything because what's the point? Everything sucks. So you get into like this kind of loop that kind of feeds itself. Everything sucks, and then you stop trying, and because you're not trying, everything sucks. It's a feedback loop, right? And what the solution to this feedback loop is very simple. So everything sucks. Stop trying. Everything sucks, right? You have this feedback loop of everything sucks, so you stop trying, and then everything sucks again, right? So the solution to this is to it's really simple. It's the easiest thing in the world on paper. Try. All you got to do is try to do something. That immediately breaks this everything sucks loop. Because what's going to happen when you break this everything sucks loop is that when you start trying, you're going to get something different. It's different. Maybe everything still sucks. You don't know. It's different. But you break the loop here, right? So the thing is that human beings are adverse to change. We do not like change. Change is weird. Change is scary. I'm sure you guys have heard that saying, "The devil you know is better than the devil you don't know." That's what we're talking about right now, right? It's this idea that everything may suck now, but I'm used to how things suck now. If I try to do something, everything is going to get so much worse. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I don't know how to deal with. I don't know what to do out there. I don't know how to handle all this stuff out there. I'd rather just deal with the stuff that I know. At least I know I can handle this. This is familiar to you. And your brain is hardwired to deal with stuff like that. And that it kind of sucks. It's kind of hard to deal with. Um, because then you're perpetually stuck in this area where you're not happy, but at least you're okay with your shitty scenario. I had oil splatter yeah, oil splatter on your back. Jesus Christ. I don't know what that means, but you had oil splatter on your back because you were making beef tacos. Got it. I hope you're okay. That sounds awful. Jesus. Well, hello, Bacha. We were just talking about the thing that we were talking about in the Discord, where we go into this self-fulfilling loop of yeah, you saw all right, everything sucks, and so you stop trying, and because you're not trying, everything sucks, right? So if you go into this loop of everything sucks and you try something, everything is going to be different. Now, we were saying, oops, that's not the right, that one. We were saying that if you try something differently, things are going to be different, and your body is literally adverse to change. Your body is hardwired to maintain everything at a comfortable rate because that's how you were raised. The period of change for you, the period of learning, was your adolescence. From the time that you're a toddler to the time that you're like about a teenager, that's when you're supposed to be learning things about life. And then after that point, that's when you're supposed to be applying things into life. And then after that point, you're supposed to keep that stable for as long as you can, and then you die. right? But the thing is that some of us, welcome back, some of us have had really weird or really fucked up lives, or maybe just not even like an
Welcome
ideal
back.
life, where our adolescence is being taught, we're being taught that we're not good enough, there are things that we can't do, everything sucks. uh and then you get to a point where you go, well, there's no fucking point in me trying. I tried back then, I was taught at a young age there's no point in trying, so I'm just not going to. um Batra was saying that one of the problems that he knows he has is that he doesn't have any life skills, and that's due to um uh, uh him being autistic, and his family taking care of him in ways that he didn't need to take care of himself. And it's been like that his entire life. So he does not have the life skills to change his scenario, and he doesn't know what to do, right? Lacking of independence, right? So obviously, the solution to this is to start doing stuff to gain your independence. But changing what the situation that you're in currently is weird, hard, difficult. There's a whole bunch of other scary things. Being autistic already makes it hard for you to communicate with other people. So why would you put yourself in a hard situation to deal with some shit that you don't know how to deal with, when you're in a situation that's not ideal, but you know how to deal with this. This sucks. Living in the situation that I'm in sucks. I don't have any agency over myself. I'm not able to do the things that I want to do. Everything is not the way that I want it to be, but I know how to deal with it. And your body is hardwired to be in this area and be this way when you accept the state that things are, because you're trying to maintain this comfortability. That's what you're meant to do biologically. Now, going against the programming is hard. It's really hard. It's really difficult. You were not built for it. But the problem now is that if you don't do anything, you are now continuing this loop, right? You're stuck in the loop. You're going to continue doing the loop until you change something. So the issue that we're now having right now, and I don't necessarily have an answer for this, I just know what works for me, and I can tell you what works for me. I would like someone who's probably more like in depth with this. How do we get from do that? Yeah. How do we get from everything sucks to trying to everything sucks less? This part is the part that we have trouble with, right? This is the part that we have trouble with. How do we get from everything sucks to trying? From the beginning, I was born all the way up until from when I was born all the way to like 13 and 14 is when my mom tried to fix me. She tried to like rewrite my brain and have me gain some independent skills, trying to fix what already been put in my head uh, from my grandparents. See, that's what I was talking about earlier. You're in a situation where you're being treated in a way that is not being fundamental to your growth. You try what you want to do, but that's not as easy for people, Franklin. This is I talk to a lot of people who feel this way specifically, and I just go, well, just do what you want to do. But a lot of people aren't built that way. A lot of people aren't built like me, where they just go, man, this sucks, I'm gonna do something about it. Batra is literally one of these people. Batra is in a situation where he goes, man, everything sucks, but what the fuck am I supposed to do? And then any option he gets to try something new is too much of a leap, and everything is terrifying. You can also only try trying if you know your options and know what you can actually try. Yes. So, well, first off, hello, Ralph. You can only really do things that you know you have the options to do. So, how do we get from everything sucks to trying if we've been taught already that trying is not helping us, right? And the only solution that I have for this on a mental capacity is taking small wins. It doesn't have to be something big as like going out and getting a job. It doesn't have to be that big. It's just do something small. Batra says he doesn't have any life skills, right? But I know you can cook. I know you every once in a while. You just said you got burned by the oil by making tacos. Try making something you've never made before, right? Let's say instead of making, I'm just giving an example here. I don't know what you do and don't know how to make. Let's say instead of trying to make tacos, what if I make it blue? Let's make it blue. I like blue. Let's make it blue. Instead of trying to make tacos, instead of that, you go, let's make a cake. Fuck it, let's make cake. Or I don't know. I've never had sushi before. Can we try to make some sushi? I've watched some YouTube videos before. What if I make brownies from scratch, right? What if I literally, instead of getting the little dollar store brownie mix or whatever, what if I just make it from scratch? What if I buy the flour and the cocoa powder and the chocolate and everything and make brownies from scratch? What if I do that? That's something very low commitment that's okay to fail, and it's something new that you've never done. It doesn't have to be something big. It just has to be something. Do something different. And then when you're doing something that's different, you can add a little more. You can add a little bit more to the plate. You can add a little bit more to this theoretical plate. You got your brownies, you got your tacos. You can add a little bit more. You get your cake. I can draw. I you guys have seen my drawing streams, so I can draw. But like this is just for the sake of for conversation. You get your cake, right? I don't know why I have it so small for you guys. I could just make it bigger. You get your cake. Just add a little bit more. And then what eventually is going to happen is that you're going to get to a point where you go, you know what? I'm pretty comfortable cooking. What if I do something really big? What if I make the house dinner? You have siblings. You have your mother and your sisters. What if I make the whole entire house dinner? What if I make some mac and cheese, right? What if I make some mac and cheese and then I make a cake for dessert? It's a really bad. If I make a cake for dessert, what if I make a whole ass chicken? Right? Thank you. What if I make a whole ass chicken? Some greens. I don't really know how to draw greens. I'm just gonna draw greens. I'm just write the word greens. I did it before multiple times, making dinners for Henley. Just stay with me. I'm not saying that you specifically should do what I'm telling you to do right now. My point being is that if you start doing small things, all of those small things will lead up to bigger things. And that way you'll get used to trying new things and it won't feel fucking awful. Because right now, what has happened to you is that you are in a state of, if I try anything, you're in a state of, if I try, damn, writing is hard. If I try, it's gonna suck. That's what you're in a state in right now. You're in a state of, if I try, it's gonna fucking suck. It doesn't matter what it is, it's gonna suck. So what you need to do is you need to start taking small wins. You need to start, what do I do? How do I explain this? I'll tell you something that happened to me. You guys remember a couple years ago when I was playing Link's Awakening DX, the remake, and I was stuck on that dumbass puzzle where you had to it was like a claw machine, and I had to do the claw machine. I wasn't really. That was kind of like a really hard period of time of my life. But after I finally got that dumbass cactus out of the claw machine for the statues and everything. I just moved on. I went and tried to go to the next mission, and my chat at the time stopped me and said, "You know, I'm surprised you didn't pop off." I go, "What do you mean?" You said they said, "Hey, you've been at there for like 30 minutes, and you did not celebrate after you got done doing that. Why didn't you celebrate? I would have popped off really hard. Why didn't you celebrate?" And that's something that stuck with me because I was in Life Sucks. It does suck, Rock. About how you doing? I was in a state where I was taught at my adolescence, uh in my young age, black again, in my toddler toddler to teenage years. That's 15. You know what I was taught? I was taught. You guys get the point. I was taught that when you do something, that's normal. You were supposed to get straight A's. You were supposed to iron your clothes the next morning. You're not going to get congratulating for doing what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to do that. That's what you're supposed to do. You don't get special thanks or special privileges for doing what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do it. But when anyone else does something like that, they're amazing. They're spectacular. Oh, your cousin got straight A's in school? Good for them. They're so amazing. They're so smart. Not you, though. You're supposed to do that. You're average. They're amazing, though, because they did that. Not you, though. So I went through an entire period of my life where I did not celebrate my wins because I did not know that that was what I was supposed to do. So I started celebrating my wins. You guys, just last month, I told you when we beat Silk Song, I said I didn't pop off. And the reason why I didn't pop off is because I didn't think we were done yet. Since from that point in time to the last time we played Link's Awakening, I have celebrated every small win I had. Didn't matter how big or small it was, I celebrated every small win I had. Everyone, didn't matter how big it was. Just even if it was a small pop up, I'd go, let's go. Yeah, I kicked ass. Because small wins are gonna help you get there. Small wins are gonna to undo this stigmata of everything sucks, because not everything can suck if you have a small win. Maybe you just take maybe you take a piece of chocolate. Oh, I'm very happy I had this piece of chocolate today. Today's been kind of rough. The chocolate made me feel better. Small win. Not everything sucks. A lot of things do suck, but not everything. So you have to take small wins. I don't know why, but every time I sneeze. Well, every time, why? But I sneeze every time I sniff soda phase. That's because like the bubbles in your nose are like the chemicals in your nose are stimulating your nose and you sneeze. Right? Your nose is trying to clear what's in there. Right? Always celebrate the little things. You have to celebrate the little things because life is actually fucking miserable if you don't celebrate the bad part or the good parts. Do you guys remember the American Dragon Jake Long cartoon? You guys remember that? Uh, I'm pulling up a reference right now so I can draw them. So, in American Dragon Jake Long, this is gonna not be that good of a picture because I'm just doodling, but there are the twins. You guys remember the twins? What twins? They could see the future. These twins could see the future. They went to them for like readings and whatnot. This is not a good picture, but I'm not actually trying to take my time and like make it nice or whatever, right? But we have these twins, and both of these twins can see the fucking future, right? think she had like a little flower in her hair. Go and put a little flower in her hair. Right? We had these twins. These twins can see the future. You think I missed that episode? They were in several episodes. So this twin over here, this one, she's a little grumpy all the time. Chad, do you remember why she was grumpy? She always saw good things. This twin always saw good things. So she was grumpy. The reason why she was grumpy is because she always saw the future and she always saw something awesome and cool happening. But for her, that just takes the joy out of life. Because if you can see the future, you can only see what good things happening. The only thing you have to experience that's new is bad shit. We want to be more like her. She always saw bad things. She always saw bad things. And because she always saw the future and she always saw trouble and fucked up shit and bad shit, she was able to appreciate any time something good happened. And we want to be more like her. This is the girl we want to be more like. We want to be like her. We want to be more like baby girl. Because what we're trying to do now, we're living in a state in the world where we are farming our best to find good things. We are it's a thing in the ADHD community where we call it dopamining, where we are trying to find the things that make us feel good, because if we don't feel good, we don't really feel anything, right? We're scrolling on TikTok, we're playing video games, we're getting all kinds of different social media platforms, seeing all these good things and these good things and these good things. And when you're bombarded with a bunch of good shit, everything becomes numb, and then you need more good shit to make you feel even better. It's like having a coffee addiction. When you start drinking coffee, it makes you feel great. It makes you feel pretty good. You feel awake, you feel alerted, and then once you get used to the coffee, you need more coffee to make you feel the way that you did. And that is exactly what happiness is like. You are now using all of your energy to try to find good things in your life, or just for that temporary satisfaction of having a good thing. And then the rest of your life is fucking miserable because you're not literally farming happiness. And I'm not saying that you should always see the bad in everything. And I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you need a balance. You want to be more like her because she always sees the bad things and she goes, oh, well, this may have been bad. But actually, can I even find the clip? It probably won't even stay in the video because, not bad. It probably won't even stay in the video because Disney, but maybe I could find the clip real quick. Let's see if I can find it. Drag in it. Is this it? Let's see if this is it. Muted. Change the speed back to normal. Let's see. Is this it? I think this is it. I hope this is it.
Each arm.
Hey. They ain't just twins. They're oracle twins. Seers, as in they can see the future? Huh?
Wow, how cool is that?
Hi, you're cute. Want to know the exact time of day you're gonna die?
You're getting a Game Station 3000 for Christmas this year. Whoop-de tap dancing do for you.
Here's the deal, kid. Sarah, Little Miss Sunshine, she can only see the bad stuff that's gonna happen. Kara, Miss Gloom and Doom, can only see the good stuff. Well, go figure. Anyhow, you got your pick.
You should totally have that mole on your hand checked.
That's a little concerning, right?
Hi, Jake. Remember us? You will?
Oh yeah, the Oracle twins. So, Are you the one who only sees the good stuff or the bad stuff?
You're gonna get a nasty case of poison ivy all over your head in July. A pox upon your face.
Right. Bad stuff. Well, then that must make you the one who sees all the good stuff. What's up?
You're cavity-free this year.
Yeah!
Root canal next year.
Oh.
I just get visions.
So, homegirl is all fucking upset because all the joy is taken out of her life because she sees it already. She knows what's gonna happen. But she's really happy because she goes, man, that kind of sucks that you're gonna have to get that root canal. But hey, this year you had good teeth.
Horrible, disturbing visions that haunt my every waking moment. Not to mention, I just
Jesus.
get visions. Horrible, disturbing visions that haunt my every waking moment. Not to mention my nightmares.
Mine always seem to have cinnamon rainbows and gingham puppies in them. I hate puppies.
Okay, here's
Oh, who fuck hates puppies, but
the drill. Tomorrow at 2 p.m., I have like the most important test of my life. So from now until then, my one and only focus will be... Rose! What's up?
that was a bitch named Rose,
Oh,
isn't
hey,
it?
Jake. Nice to meet ya. Tomorrow you're gonna get a massive zit on your feet.
Yo, a little advice? People in the human realm aren't used to oracles going around predicting stuff. So just chill.
You gotta be voiced by Zuko. Yeah, but the funny part is that Rose was voiced by Katara. Anyway, my point being, maybe I should keep that up. I'll keep this tab here just in case. If you're more used to seeing, you're more or less used to like a level thing, and you don't think of everything as always being shitty, you should be able to start seeing some good parts in your life. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, let's think about this, right? If everything really sucks, then you guys wouldn't be here, right? You guys are in chat hanging out with me, just having a good time. So, small win. Hey, fucking, I gotta deal with my student loans coming on top of my head, right? But today was an alright day. I didn't have to stress out about anything. I'm hanging out with chat. I'm doing some good shit. We're hanging out. Small wins. Just appreciate the small wins, right? That is how you get from, which tab is it? This one? This is how you get out of this loop right here of, you guys can't see my mouse. This is how you get out of this loop. If you try, it's gonna suck. This is how you get out of it. You start celebrating small things. So, and it doesn't even, like I said, it doesn't have to be good, big. Maybe I don't know, chat. Give me something that's bad that you're stressed out about. Or hell, I'll give you something that I'm stressed out about. Here's something that I'm stressed out about. I just applied for a customer service rep at Domino's. Is that a bad thing, or is that just a thing? Are you just informing the public? You guys know that, if you guys are in the Discord at least, that I have a $1,700 electric bill this month. You just did? Well, I hope they call you back sooner rather than later. I have a $1,700 electric bill this month. That's really shitty. I don't even know how the fuck. If it weren't for Landy, I wouldn't know where the fuck I was gonna get the money to pay this. It's not even mine. It's the person that I live with. But because I live in their house, I have to worry about this, right? But that may suck. This sucks. This is ass. This is ass. This is garbage. We fucking hate that. But not all of it was bad, right? Because of this, I now have the motivation to move out. I've been here for fucking 2-3 years, and this right here was my breaking point. So having to deal with this $1,700 electric bill sucks ass. But now I have the motivation to move out and move on with my life and get out of this situation that I'm in, and do everything I can to get out of it, because there were some last resorts that I wasn't really willing to deal with, but now I have to, because I can't fucking pay $1,700. So I have the motivation to move out. The electric bill is still up, but I'm still streaming today, right? We just got to chapter 3 of. I would say this is like a big thing, right? This is a big thing. I'm still streaming today, right? That's a pretty good thing. I'm very happy to stream. I'm very happy to hang out with you, have this conversation, yap with you all, right? So we're streaming. We just got to chapter 3 from Trails. That game is fun. I'm having a great time. The play that they put on was fucking so cool. Man, Pokemon wishes they could do something that cool. Trails in the Sky is fucking amazing. So, small things. Don't let all the heavy stuff drag you down. You do not want to be. You don't want to be acting like this sister over here because you're trying to farm your happiness. You're not going to get it that way. That's not how happiness works. I think a lot of people don't actually realize. I don't think a lot of people actually realize that you're not. The American dream is like always look for happiness, right? But that's not really how life works. So happiness is an emotion, and emotion is fleeting. It's going to go away eventually. I think people need to kind of look for contentment. When something happy happens, enjoy the happiness. When something good happens, enjoy the happiness, and when it goes away, just appreciate it that you had it to begin with. And when something bad happens, deal with it, process your emotions, and go back to it. You always want to remain a point of neutrality. Hello, Dizzy. We're talking about how shitty life is. So you want to remain a point of neutrality. Something that always stuck with me. Do you guys remember that show, that 70s show? I might be the only one who watched it because I was technically before our time, or like a little bit, but I watched that show religiously. You guys remember that 70s show? There was a character in that 70s show by the name of Hyde. Now, Hyde's whole entire deal was that he was too cool for school. But there was a moment where the other characters, Jackie, was dealing with a bunch of shit. And then Hyde just goes, you have to learn the ancient art of Zen, the ancient art of not giving a fuck. And that is hard to do. There are so many things pulling for your attention, especially social media. Social media is absolutely vying for your attention and vying for your caring and vying for for the little slice of your brain that feeds dopamine. It's vying for it. TikTok is made specifically for you to keep being on it, to farm the little part of your brain that fills your brain with dopamine and makes you feel good. Everything is farming for that. You have to learn to not give a fuck. And that is hard to do. I think I've watched a few episodes in passing while my dad was watching it. I like that show. It's probably not good, but I liked it. Social media is actual poison. See, I think the problem with social media is that we all try to get to a point where we're all trying to live our best lives and post about our best lives, and that has skewed in our brain what success actually looks like. So if you're not going to private islands and you're not vacationing in Japan, and you're not checking out different places and doing everything, you're not living your best life. And because you're not living your best life, you're miserable. Hey, look at me, look how happy I am. You're not happy though. Your life sucks. That's what social media has done to us. It literally ruins your perception of reality. It does. It's true. It literally ruins your perception of reality, which is why resentment creeps in. Resentment creeps in. I remember a friend in college had said that specifically they do not like it when other people are happy because they get jealous of their happiness. Isn't that kind of fucked up? But I think that's really common. I think that is a really common thing for people to be jealous of other people's happiness. You're happy and now I'm mad, so now it's your problem. Exactly. I think that's a lot of things with politics as well. You guys ever realize how much like social politics just doesn't have anything to do with anybody? Like we're LGBT friendly here, right? So let's talk about that for a second, right? A lot of politics is like uh blood, bleh, transgender for everyone, right? Fucking what's something else dumb that they say? Like most of us are part of the LGBTQ in some way. Yeah, I'm non-binary, right? We use bi, etc., etc. Transgender for anyone, for everyone. What's something else? The fucking they say that's dumb. Uh, what fucking trans in the Olympics or some shit, right? They say dumb shit like this, right? But half the people complaining about stuff like this, it literally does not affect them. If you're not trans, what the fuck does it mean? What difference does it make if someone else decides that they change they decide to change genders, right? What difference does that make to you? It literally changes nothing. Oh, I'm uncomfortable with the man walking into a woman's bathroom. They're not. First off, there is an argument of like safety of people just saying that they're trans and walking into a woman's bathroom, right? But that's a different issue. The issue is not the safety of women. That is a completely separate issue from the actual issue of trans people deserve representation. They deserve to feel comfortable in their own skin, in a comfortable part of society. Women also need to feel that way, but that is also a fucking different part of society. We don't let women feel different, so of course we can't let trans people feel okay, right? But the problem here is that none of this has anything to do with the people who are complaining about it. Most of the people complaining about this are old white men. And the only reason they're complaining about it is because it's weird and different. It's different from what I know, so it has to be bad. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be bad just because it's different from what you know. Trans people in the Olympics, half the motherfuckers watching the Olympics or complaining about this aren't in the Olympics. I have a question. What do the people in the Olympics care? Like, how do they feel about trans people in the Olympics? Do other women care that a trans person is in the Olympics running alongside them? Do the trans women care that someone who is biologically male is running in the Olympics? Do they care? I haven't heard a single opinion about someone in the Olympics, right? So there's a trans female in your bathroom. Do you know what is going to happen if I find a trans female in my bathroom? Nothing. I'm going to move on and continue doing what the fuck I was doing because I went in the bathroom to piss. Okay, I know this is a joke, Rocket Pal. They jokingly say, so we need trans bathrooms and water fountains. No, that's perpetuating the problem. I know that was a joke, but like that's perpetuating the problem. I'm sure that some care, but like the most of them couldn't give a singular fuck. Okay, so here's the thing, specifically about trans people in the Olympics, right? I used to be competitive. I used to run track in high school. Do you know if there was a woman, or if there's a woman, let's not even say trans woman. If there was a woman that was running track and cross country with us, right? And they're faster than me. Do you know what that's going to do to my mind mentally? I'm going to go, oh, more competition. I have someone to beat now. I have someone I can try to beat now. I don't give a fuck about how they identify. They are a good runner and now I want to beat them in a race. That's what I care about. Half the people complaining about trans people in the Olympics aren't in the fucking Olympics. And then we have male toxicity. That is a whole different statement that we can tackle it. Fuck it. We're talking about everything, right? Let's talk about male masculinity. So I've talked, you guys are going to get hit ads in 2 seconds. I'm sorry. It's going to happen. Male toxicity I don't. How do you spell toxicity? Toxicity. Male toxicity comes from a place where men are not allowed to express their feelings. Right? Men are not allowed to express their feelings. Trans exclusion is vile everywhere and always. Any kind of exclusion is generally vile. But the whole entire thing about trans exclusion is that trans exclusion comes from a place of this is different and I don't want things to be different. I told you at the start of this that the idea of your brain is hard set in a way that your brain does not want things to change. It wants everything to remain consistent. And because people do not realize that, they are being bigoted and vile because they're fearful of change. And we cannot do that as a society. Things move too quickly in our society for us to be like that. Toxic men have to be an emotionless brick walls, and females have to be weak beings that have to be protected at all times. Yes, that is the way that status quo happens. Male toxicity comes from a fact that they cannot express their feelings. So what happens if you're a male, right? If you're a male and you're hanging out with another dude and you express some kind of friendliness, right? You express some kind of overly friendliness, right? Like, let's say I'm sure we all know someone who's got the personality of a golden retriever, right? What if, let's say that they're really, really happy to be around somebody, right? What society does is that they go, this male is emotional. And emotions are bad, right? Oh, you're emotional. You can't keep yourself together. That's bad. That's bad. You're not allowed to do that. If you cry during a movie, you're weak. If you cry, you're weak. That is a sign of weakness. And it's all emotion. You know what for toxic men, you know what the only get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. It's really funny. So for people who don't know, right? I'm obviously live on Twitch. We were just talking about trans representation, and the bot came in and said femboy do sanries. Said I just had to ban them because it's a bot. The only emotion that you're allowed to display as a man is anger. Anger is the only emotion that you're allowed to display as a man in society. That's the only thing you're allowed to react with. If something is a problem, you react with anger. If something makes you want to cry, you react with anger. Any kind of negative emotion has to be replaced with anger. You're not allowed to feel any other emotion. And so we wonder why we have men crashing out, men shooting up CEOs. We have fucking men shooting up schools while we have a bunch of unstable men fucking beating their partners and doing this and that because they're not allowed to react to anything with anger. And if they do react to anything other than anger, they get called fucking cowards and pussies and shit. We call that weakness. That's the issue. So we've watched the movie RRR, right? The fucking most amazing movie of all time. And the whole entire thing with RRR is that we made jokes the whole entire time that those two dudes were gay. But the thing is that what that movie actually represents is a healthy male friendship. That is what a healthy male friendship looks like. They're laughing together, they're hugging each other, they're giving each other fucking piggyback rides. They're helping each other out. The one dude plays wingman to the other guy. That is a healthy male relationship. But even me talking to you about this right now, the whole entire time we were going, wow, look at them. They're such a cute couple. Because that's what our society has ingrained in us. That if you show any kind of emotion at all, you were gay, and being gay is bad. That's where this male toxicity comes from. That's where this male toxicity comes from. We need to as a society fix this. It's okay for men to feel emotions. The thing is that at least this is the way that I was taught. I was taught that emotions are weakness. Right? This is what I was taught at growing up as a guy. Right? I was taught that emotions are weakness and that you shouldn't have these. You should not have. You are a man. You cannot show emotions because emotions are a weakness. And if you're a true man, you don't have any weaknesses. That's what I was taught. Right? This is not true. The statement should be, careful who you let in. This is what the statement should be. That's what the statement should be. Because we all have somebody where if we let them in and we try to be our authentic selves, when they're going to take that and fuck us over. So the statement isn't that you should not have emotions. The statement should be careful who you let your emotions show with. I did that whole entire podcast episode about masking and what it is to be out in public and who you are out in public. But if you can't be, if you have a wife, right? Right? If you have a wife, let's let's Venn diagram it, right? Let's make a Venn diagram. That's way too big. There you go. Venn diagram. All right. Right. If you're out in public, you have to be strong, right? You can't show any weakness, right? You have to be emotionless, right? You got to be logical. I'm gonna start putting quotes in there. A man. I just said the thing about not putting quotes. You have to be a man out in public, right? And you get home to your wife. Who you married because your parents set up for you, because that's how arranged marriages were back in the day. And you have to be, you get home and your wife married you because of the person you were when you were out in public, right? They married you because you were this person out in public. So now you have to maintain this identity of being strong, no weakness, emotionless, logical, right? You have to maintain this persona of that. So if you're not being your authentic self out in public, and you're not being your authentic self at home, when do you have time to be yourself? You don't. You spend all of this time not being yourself. All of this time, you're surrounded by people in your day-to-day life that don't know the real you. And then when you come home to your wife and your kids or whatever, you're at home still pretending to be that person you were out in public, because you can't show your emotions to your wife, because they're going to think you're weak-willed, emotionless, not strong, and not a man. And they're going to tell you especially if you're in an older generation, they're going to tell that shit to your face and call you a pussy and call you all the kinds of things. They're gonna do all this stuff to your face, and now you have no place to be yourself. And you know that's gonna lead to? Your stress level is gonna build up like Mob Psycho. You're gonna hit 100%, and then you're gonna fucking crash out. You're gonna have a Twitter crash out. That's what's gonna happen to you. This sounded a lot like me back in middle school, and I'm sorry you had to deal with them. When we watched Gurren Lagann, we watched that the final few episodes. I was fucking bawling my eyes out, and I know for a fact that there would be some people who knew I did that. They would look at me as if I'm lesser than them because I let out my emotions. You know what, chat? You know what I realized after I got done living in the UK? Because I had my crash out. I didn't have a Twitter crash out, thank God. But I had my crash out on my returning from the UK back to America. Because I realized I was not happy with my life. And that's when I kind of broke down, and I started trying to figure out the person that I wanted to be. I started trying to figure out who I could trust, who I could let myself be my genuine personal self with. And you know what I realized? I cry a lot. I watched the movie Wolfwalkers last night, right? The movie Wolfwalkers is amazing, but last night I watched that movie, and like during like the last like half of that movie, it's not even that long of a movie. It's like an hour and 30 minutes. During the last half of that movie, I spent the entire rest of it just fucking crying. But you do that around the wrong people, and you're gonna get called you're gonna be called emotional and pussy and a bitch and a coward and this, that, and the other. And then there's a whole entire thing with women being called all these things because they are emotional in all these other things that we've made stereotypes about. It's fucking windy, isn't it? Yeah, it's just allergies, guys. It's allergies. Trust me, it's fine. I'm not crying. You're crying, right? Older generations tend to pass it down until it feels normal to be like that. Exactly. That's called. I believe that's called generational trauma. Yeah, like no, it's fucking awful. Also, hello, Magic. I don't like to cry in public, not because I want to be manly in front of people, but because I ugly cry hard. Good for you, man. Don't obviously you should have spaces where you feel comfortable to cry, but the point is that even if you don't cry in public, you should have a space for you to let that emotion out. There was one time in college, famous beginning to a statement, right? One time in college, I was really stressed out. I had just started my core classes to get into graphic design, so I had my graphic design. Actually, I just write down core classes, right? I had my core classes, which involved getting up at 8 a.m., which, as we all know in the Discord, I am a night person. I do not fuck with morning unless I stayed up for the previous night. That involved 8 hours full classes every day. And then I was an art student. I wasn't a normal student. So after these 8 hours, right? After 8 hours of being in the actual class, I had to spend my time outside of class working on my projects. Because while art is not hard in the classical sense of, oh, I have to type a paper and it has to be eight pages and whatnot, you have to spend a long time working on your projects. So that's bonus stuff. On top of the fact that art is messy and sometimes it doesn't work out that way. So that includes time that you have to redo stuff, right? So I had my core classes and I had to do all this shit for my core classes. And then I had work. And I worked in my industry, unfortunately. So they don't allow you to work more than like 12 hours a week. So I had 12 hours of work. And because I used to work events for school, I had to work events for school. I had to actually prepare all the things to work for school for those events. Excuse me. I had to prepare all those things to work events. And that actually required me to work outside of my 12 hours weekly. I got special permission for that. I'll read that in a second. And then on top of that, you want to have a social life, right? So you want to spend time with your friends. You wanna hang out. You want to eat. You have to like actually, I'll just put eat and everything, right? Right? You have to take care of yourself, right? Self-care. And that requires eating, hygiene. That's not how you spell hygiene. I wrote hygiene. You have to do all of that stuff, right? Now, some people have seen all of this stuff and have gotten stressed out just looking at this list. This is a lot of shit. Hygiene. I have to get up early when I'm not a morning person. I have 8 hours a day, not including the 4 hours that I have to do for if I'm working that day or not. There's the event on the outside. I still want to hang out with my friends. I have to eat, take care of myself, find all this, and then still find time to work on my projects outside of school. So do you know what happened to me? What happened to me is I was talking about the mob psycho stress meter, right? So what ended up happening to me is that I was sleeping over at my friend's house, right? It was me, my old roommate and his girlfriend. We were all friends. We were all cool like that. We were hanging out in her dorm because it was quiet there. So we were hanging out in her dorm. And while I was asleep, the meter hit 100. I was asleep. And do you know what happened when it hit 100? I had a fucking anxiety attack. Now, I don't know how many people in chat have had a proper anxiety attack, but when the first time you have an anxiety attack, you think your body is shutting down, you're dying. I started hyperventilating, I started crying, I couldn't feel I lose all feeling in my hands. My hands go numb, they go like this, and I can't move them. I cannot feel my hands. I literally thought I was dying. I was literally sitting in one of my friend's dorms at fucking 3 a.m. hyperventilating and thinking I'm going to literally die because my body is shutting down. And the thing that's running through my mind right now is I can't tell these people that are right next to me that I'm dying right now because I don't want to inconvenience them. So I'm literally sitting there at the top of this fucking bunk bed, shutting down, and I go, I don't want to inconvenience them by telling them that I'm dying right now. That's how stressed I was. I got woken up out of my sleep from an anxiety attack because I was too stressed. There was too much shit going on. And that doesn't even count the fact that I felt that I could be a safe around these people. That's how I felt when I was in a safe spot and I was just kind of stressed out. Imagine going your entire life. Imagine these CEOs, right? These politicians trying to put on these brave faces, going out into public and being this person, and then coming home and still having to be that person. Yeah, they're going to fucking crash out. You're going to crash out. Nobody is meant to be this idealized version of yourself for this long. You have to find a way to let off this stress. Now, that might look different from everybody, but I think the most important thing that we have to do is accept your small wins. You have to celebrate small things. Otherwise, everything is just going to be fucking miserable. It's just going to be awful. I've seen a lot of posts from people, from wives and girlfriends who have their boyfriend/husband when a major thing, like one of their parents dies or pets dies, and they talk about how they look down upon them because they let out their emotions and dared to cry in front of them. That's so fucked up. Imagine you not being able to cry in front of your wife, your fucking life partner, because your animal died or their parent died. That is insane to me. That is wild. That is so insane. Honestly, skill issue. Why marry someone you can't open up to? A lot of people don't know they have a choice. We made fun of it all the time, right? But we always make fun of the God, I hate my wife anytime anyone anyone starts talking shit about women or say something sexist. It's because they don't know they have a choice. They don't know, people do not understand that they have a choice to not be in the situation that they're in because their brain is hardwired to be in the same spot they were always at. So once again, we come back to everything sucks. Trying something doesn't work because everything sucks. We're back here. My partner is amazing and I can be vulnerable as fuck with her. I'm happy you have that. A lot of people do not. I'm in a situation where the person that I should be vulnerable with the most, my own mother, is not someone I can be vulnerable with. Isn't that fucked up? My own parent I can't be vulnerable with. There's this YouTuber who does daily videos on subreddits like, am I the asshole and am I overreacting? And he always says this thing, but I feel like what really helps some people. Don't be with someone who you have to hide your stuffed animals from. So true. Don't be with someone you have to hide your stuffed animals from. Don't be with someone that you feel like you'd be laughed at for having stuffed animals. I think that depends on the situation. Not everybody can open up to someone, even if that someone is close to them. That's also true. The problem with the male toxicity we were talking about before is that men don't actually know how to open up. Let's talk about that real quick. How the fuck do I feel my emotions? How do I feel my emotions? How do we do that? So I can only talk about this from the guy's side because I was raised male, right? And I've said this before, but the only emotions you're allowed to feel as a male is anger, right? So if the only thing you're allowed to feel, is anger, how do we convert anger back into other emotions? How do we get there? Now, I don't have a particular solution for this. I'm just, I just kind of talking off the top of my head right now. But I think what you need to do is that anger is a defense mechanism, right? Anger is a defense mechanism. The purpose of anger, actually, I got rid of that box. I can probably still keep it. The purpose of anger is to protect you. You get angry to protect yourself. Hey, this is dangerous. I need to make myself more threatening so that way I can protect myself from this apparent danger. That's why you get angry, right? And that's fine. I'm not even going to say that anger is not a useful emotion to have, because it is. It's quite useful. But the thing is that you can't feel this all the time because you're going to literally burn out your nervous system being angry all the time. So what we have to first start with is go, terrible. Okay. Why? Why am I angry? How did I get this way? What am I angry about? How did we get here? Why am I angry? Did my parent die? Did my pet die? Why am I angry? What's the situation for being that I have reacted to the situation with anger, right? We are not processing an emotion. We have stunned all our other emotions and only reacted with anger. So why am I angry? And there's some people who wonder why males commit Persona 3 more than females. That's also true. I mean, if you're not allowed to praxis, I think you're doing the Jack and Daxter reference, right? I'm gonna kill praxis. That line. So let's start there, right? Now let's just give one with the chat gave us, right? Parent died. Your parent is dead, so that's why you've gone back to react with anger. And it's to protect you. And it's to protect you. But what are you protecting yourself from? Are you protecting yourself from the hurt that anger was? Are you protecting yourself from your literal spouse that you don't feel safe with? What are you protecting yourself from? So now we're in a situation where like you're trying to protect yourself. What are you protecting yourself from? So let's just say it's your spouse, right? You're protecting yourself from your spouse. Why are you protecting yourself from your spouse? Because you don't feel safe. Right? Now, we have not gotten any closer to answering the actual thesis question of how do I feel my emotions, but we've done something really important here. Do you know what this is? This is called processing. We have now processed the emotion. I'm angry that my parent has died, and I'm trying to protect myself. I'm trying to protect myself from my spouse because I do not feel comfortable sharing the sadness I have with them. I have for this situation. And so I feel angry. I cannot feel sadness because I do not feel safe to feel sadness. So I'm now reacting with anger to protect myself from the shame that I feel from being around my spouse. That's it. All you have to do is think about it and process your emotions a little bit. Process why you're feeling the way that you're feeling, and then you'll get there. And then the next part becomes a little bit harder because now you need to find people you can be around to where you can allow yourself to feel more than just anger and whatnot, right? That's a little bit harder because not everybody is meant for you, but that's just doing this is a good start. Just doing this is a good start. There are a lot of other people who just straight up feel numb to emotions, and I don't know. I'm not a fucking doctor. I can't help you. But from as far as the male toxicity perspective of why am I always reacting to anger, is as long as you have the will to change that, as long as you are okay taking steps out of your comfort zone and trying to do something different, trying to process the emotion that you actually have instead of just having it, you can get there. You can get there. It's not going to be easy. In fact, it's going to suck for a little bit. But everything always sucks. So what's different, right? If things are going to suck, you might as well, if everything is going to suck, you might as well try to make things better because at least you're doing something about it this time. Sure, we have a lot more issues to tackle. Anyone else want to talk about something? Anyone else got something they want to say? Discrimination comes from fear, that kind of thing. You think you're good? See, this conversation started with Batra. Hot take: homophobic people are bad. It comes from fear. I guarantee you, most of the people who are homophobic are just afraid to be gay themselves. I guarantee you. It's either they're afraid to be gay themselves or they don't know how to deal with gay people. That's it. This whole entire conversation came from Boucher talking in the Discord, where he was complaining about a situation that he had, where he was saying he is not happy with his life, right? That's how we got here. They're not happy. They come to a point where they should do something about it. But they can't do anything about it because they're too scared to. The situation of them changing is scarier than them not being happy, and then so they continue to be not happy. Right? That's the situation that they're in. Now we're in this circle. So, the way that you get out of this, as I mentioned before, you do something. And then it becomes... Actually, I'll do it this way. It becomes less scary. And then you get closer to being happy. And it doesn't have to be something big. It can be something small. Make yourself a treat. Make yourself a treat or something. Treat yourself. Or the straight people are afraid that they're going to have to share their place in life with someone who aren't like them. I don't know if that's, in fact, the entire case. It's definitely part of it. But I think a lot of people who are straight just don't know how to interact with gay people. And that's just a matter of exposure. It's like the same thing with racism, right? The same thing with racism is that I don't know about this culture. They're different from me. And because they're different from me, I'm scared of that, and I don't want to deal with it. I just don't want to. And so they treat them differently, and they treat them like the devil. Make that 5-layer pineapple upside down cake you've always wanted to make. What does that even taste like? What does a pineapple upside down cake even taste like? Excuse me. I don't like fruit-based cakes. I can't say I've had too many. As a straight person, I don't mind the LGBT. I respect them for being happy, but I'd rather just be plain and vanilla. They're not. See, that's the issue with people who are straight. Straight people think that gay people are going to somehow take them and make them straight or make them gay, and that's just not how being gay works. Especially boomers. Boomers really thought that shit. Let me see if I can find a clip real quick. Hold on. Wait. Right, I had this. If you guys haven't seen this this TV show, Ted Lasso, I think you should. I think you should watch this show. This show is amazing. Okay, so the situation is that they're on a soccer team, a football team, because they're European. They're from the UK. And Colin here, the dude second from the left, has come out to the rest of the team that they're gay. And the whole entire team goes, "Hey man, you know what, man? We don't care. We don't care that you're gay. Doesn't matter to us."
Hold on, actually. Yeah, Colin, we do care, you know? When I was growing up back in Kansas City, I had a buddy named Stevie Jewell. Now, he was a huge Denver Broncos fan. But we were all growing up smack dab in the middle of cheese country. So he used to catch a lot of guff for it, you know? But I told him it didn't affect the way I felt about him at all, you know? I told him that I didn't care. And I didn't, you know. But then in 97, 98, he had to watch back-to-back Super Bowls with the Denver Broncos in them all by himself. First one, he ate an entire 7-layer dip from Price Chopper all by himself. Big old thing. And it just wrecked his stomach. Apparently, he destroyed the toilet in his parents' basement. I remember the rumor at the time being that he caused $9,000 worth of damage. Could you imagine? To a toilet, 9,000 bucks. The next year, he did the exact same thing. All by himself. He must have thought it was good luck or something, I don't know. Because I wasn't there. Because I didn't care. But I should have cared. You know? I should have supported him. I should have been at his house both them years. Sharing that 7-layer dip with my friend while his garbage-ass team wins back-to-back Super Bowls.
Coach, did you just compare being gay to being a Denver Broncos fan?
You know what? I did, and I regret it. Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
The point being, wait, maybe
What the fuck are Denver Broncos?
Well, no, that's very...
they're fucking from the UK. They don't know what the fucking Denver Bronco is. The point being is that having the mind state of not caring is not good. You should be shitting right next to your homie, bro. Having the mind state of not caring is not good, right? It's cool that you're respectful of other people, but they need help. Everybody here on this fucking planet needs help. I need help. You need help. If we're not helping each other, then what the fuck are we doing? Right? What are we doing? This person, like the LGBTQ community specifically, are fighting for the right to be themselves. Now, I don't understand how literally any other community in America, at the very least, hasn't gone through that same entire thing. Black people have gone through that. We are struggling to exist now because my skin tone is different from other people. I know exactly what the struggle of being discriminated against because of who I am is. I should be right there next to people in fucking pride parades going, yeah, you deserve to exist. You deserve to be who you are. You deserve to be happy. I know exactly what that's like. So no, saying stuff like, I think a lot of people have a misconception that their life is about them, but like people don't understand that on the grand total scheme of things, we're not really that important. And the people who do think that, who are like proper nihilists and whatnot, don't understand that even if we're not important, the things that we do are important to us. Batra at some point said in the Discord that he doesn't see a point in trying. And the point is that you aren't happy. You aren't happy, so you should do something about it. That should be more than enough of a point. That means something. It may not mean something in the whole entire grand scheme of things, but that means something to you. Do something. Even if it's small. Even if it's small. Even if all you do today for yourself is make that pineapple upside down cake that you always wanted to have. Make that damn pineapple upside down cake for yourself. Do something. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to have a win, but nobody is going to give it to you. Freedom is something you take. Happiness is something you make. Contentment is a controllable thing. This is a good quote to put in physical words. Let's put it on a shirt, chat. Freedom is something you take. Happiness is something you make. Make shirts and sell them, and now you move out of your mom's place. Freedom is something you take. Happiness is something you make. Nah, I think we should. That's good. Everyone should be building up to something. Like, I think it's not necessarily a bad thing to have that hard set mind state of not changing, but you have to have something worth not changing. Like all the fucking whack ass boomers and shit are trying to fight for something to remain their level of lifestyle that wasn't fucking good. It wasn't good. It was made to help them in the time and place. Now we need a different system, and now they're locking it in a certain situation that's making hard for everybody else, but only helping them. This exact thing slapped onto a shirt, white box, and wall. Well, we'll do the Jackbox game TKO out of it, yeah? So, if we want to do something, if we want things to be different, we have to go out and do it. You know what I mean? And if doing a lot is too much for you, like I said, take it slow. It's okay to take it slow. Everyone, we may be called the human race, but this shit is not a race. We may be called the human race, but this shit is not a race. All right? Everyone gets to where they're going at different paces. Take your time. We went back to the good old days. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have actually seen it, but have you guys seen those like AI slop nostalgia videos that's like, oh yeah, come back to the 80s. Everything was great. We all went outside. We all touched grass. Everything was great back then. I didn't live in the 80s, but I can guarantee you shit was worse. The thing that's those videos are baiting are the people who grew up in the 80s and they were children. The reason why things were great was because you were a child and you didn't have responsibilities. We won the race in the womb to win the bigger race, but I'm not a racer. You invited me to the cell games, but I'm not a gamer. There's only one race, the human race. What about NASCAR? Speaking of cars, the movie Cars is literally about that. The thing that we just said, that's literally what Cars is about. Like, it's like that's why they made it Cars. I want to put free therapy session in my online space so that everyone can share their heavy thoughts on me until they can feel better. You should not do that because if everyone's dropping their heavy shit on you, who are you going to drop your heavy shit on? Do not do that. Everybody should just get a therapist. And if you can't afford a therapist, find some way to release your thoughts in a healthy way. I want to be very clear, yeah, that I fucking hate journaling. All right, journaling. I am not a writer, despite the fact that we wrote a whole bunch of shit on these layers. I do not like writing. Writing about my feelings feels bad. I would much rather talk about my feelings. However, talking about my feelings got me put into a weird place with my friends because I would just talk about shit, and that led to trauma dumping. So I have to journal, and let me tell you, I've been in such a better mental space after journaling. Just if you don't know, if people who want to journal know that it's good for them, but they don't know where to start, what you should do is you should just find like a notes app. There are journaling apps on the app store. Just get one of those. It'll remind you every day if you're forgetful like me. All you need to do is at the end of your day, Start writing about your day in reverse order. From the moment you got in bed, writing about your journal entry all the way back to the beginning of your day. Write about everything that happened, write about how it made you feel. And if you don't know how you felt, write about how you don't know how you felt about that thing. It'll make you feel so much better. It's like a therapy session. Now, it's okay. I'm not saying you should not talk to your friends about things that's going on with you. You can. But like you got to make sure you're not overloading them because everyone's going through their own shit. I'm sure you guys know about energy vampires and people come and talk to you and they talk about all the problems that's happening in their life. And now you're tired and then they feel better and they fuck off and go live their happy life. And now you're stressed out because you heard their stress and now you got to deal with your own stress too. Nobody wants that. Find healthy outlets. Draw a picture. Start journaling. Work out. I know everybody goes like, ah, fuck, nobody wants to work out. It's good for you. If this becomes a video, the title should be called Therapy Time with Infinite. The thing is that this is probably going to get broken up into multiple videos, right? This whole entire thing. 5 push-ups a day. Start with 5 push-ups a day. And then every week, increase it. Increase it by 5. And then get on your Saitama shit and start doing 100 push-ups a day. Find someone who could trauma dump to you and you trauma dump with them. Do not do that. That is specifically what I'm telling you not to do. That is bad. That is not healthy. I like my hair. Exactly. Do not trauma dump and do not let people trauma dump on you. In fact, the best way to say to tell someone that hey, you're stressing me out by telling me this is to just say, hey, this is a lot. This is not my issue to deal with. Man, you're stressing me out. Just tell them. You guys want to know the best way to get exactly what you want in a life? The best way to get what you want in a life? Step 1. Ask. That's it. All you have to do is ask. It's not hard. It feels like it's hard because our human brains make things way more complicated and shit than it needs to be, but just ask. And if they say no, ask someone else. We're going to be okay even if we're not okay. We gonna be all right. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gonna be all right. Trauma dump with each other and you'll stay with the same amount of trauma. It's a net neutral. Jesus Christ. Now, some people can make a relationship like that work. Like if you guys have seen the Deadpool movie, like the first one, where they go like, oh, your crazy matches my crazy. Sometimes you can make that work. That is not you, though. That won't work for you. You were not that guy. You were not that guy. You were not that person. Then there are people who get pissed off if you dare to ask them any questions. Ask someone else. I think it's from BoJack Horseman, that quote that everything that's wrong with you is you. And that's true. Everything that's wrong with you is you. Because even the situation that is a situation that you're not, that you can't really do anything about, or that you don't really know how to do anything about, it's on you. It's your responsibility to do something about that situation, even if there's not much to do. Now, it may not be your fault that you're in that situation, but it's still your responsibility to fix it. It sucks. It's not fair. It is what it is. It is what it is. If you're unhappy, it is your responsibility to make yourself happy. No one else is going to do that for you. And a lot of people are going to tell you, oh, you can do this, or you could find that special someone. It's not how that works. A lot of people will tell you, or you know what? Not even a lot of people. Movies, any romantic comedy will tell you that, hey, if you want to be happy, all you have to do is find that special someone and they'll complete you. Guess what happens? If that relationship fails, if you've done this, right? If this is you, and then this part here is your significant other. That part here is your significant other. What happens when you break up? What happens when you break up? If you've met someone else and you've used that other person to complete yourself, what the fuck happens when you break up? What are you going to do then? If you break up, now you've lost a half of yourself Now you've lost a half of yourself. Now you're just as fucked up as you were when you started that relationship, because that person was not supposed to complete you. That's not how relationships work. You guys want to know how a relationship works? We're going to do it again. You ready? This brush is too big. Hold on. This is how relationship works. You have someone, you have yourself, and then the overlap you two have is what's fun. That's the relationship. You are two separate people. So that way, if the pink part of this disappears, if the significant other you had disappears, you still have yourself. I'm lonely and I'm proud. Listen, all right, loneliness is becoming a much bigger problem nowadays. It's something that I dealt with my entire life. Naruto used to be my favorite anime because they talked about that feeling of loneliness that I didn't know how to express as a child. Loneliness is even bigger now because we have social media and how big social media is. Everyone's pretending to be someone else on social media. Everyone's terminally online. No one's really going out and connecting with people. Do you guys know the reason why I started doing face cam again? The reason why I started doing face cam again is because there is a certain connection that happens when you see someone's face as opposed to the PNG that I have. Now, sometimes I'm going to do this. Sometimes I'm going to be in the PNG because I just don't want to fucking be on camera. But this right here is much more important. You get to see all my micro expressions. You get to see me smile. You get to see me cry. You get to see that I shaved my beard. I have never done that before. So there is a type of connection that has to happen in person that you cannot get you cannot get from being on the internet. Forsake your flesh and become Flat Stanley. Yeah, you look weird. Yeah, I guess you've never seen me I've never seen me without a beard, so. So, the way that you fix loneliness is that you have to go out and you have to go talk to people. And that's fucking scary, but you got to do it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts around that. You got to do it. You got to go out and talk to people. You have to go out and go to places where people are. You got to go out and talk to people that have the same interests as you. Go to a convention. Go out to the store. Say hi to... I'm going to give you the easiest thing that you could fucking do. You don't even have to have a full conversation with somebody. All you have to do is go out, go to someplace... Go to someplace you're comfortable with. Go to the fucking store or something. And give a stranger a compliment. You don't even have to have a conversation with them. Just say, "Hey, I really like the shirt. It's a nice shirt." End the conversation. Walk away. Maybe it'll start a conversation. But then, congrats, you're talking to somebody new. You're having an interaction. Someone came on here earlier. I forget who it was. I think it was Franklin. Franklin said, "Hey, nice dreads." And I said, "Hey, I grew them myself." Thank you. I grew them myself. Now, that could have started a conversation, but it didn't. But let's say it did start a conversation. "Oh, yeah, I've had my dreads for 5 years. It used to be longer, but I cut them. I did a stream where I cut them. My hair used to be fucking all the way down past to my titties, but I cut them. I cut them because it was getting too hot. I couldn't sleep. So I cut my hair. But it was fun. I've had my dreads for a long time. I've always wanted hair. I've always wanted my hair long since I was a little kid. I wasn't allowed to grow my hair out because I was too pretty as a kid. My parents did want me being mistaken to a girl. Wanted me mistaken as a girl, so they didn't let me grow my hair out. But now that I'm a fucking adult, I can grow my hair out and do what I want, and I'm very happy. I also learned that my hair being as long as it was, I'm much more happy with this hair length. I always thought I wanted my hair to be super fucking long, like those anime characters. But like the anime characters have their hair flowing in the wind like cars. I always thought I wanted my hair that long, but I don't. I like it right here. Right here is nice. God, I hated short hair. I always had my hair cut to a near buzz cut, and I fucking hate the look of buzz cuts. Hey, guess what, Weez? You and I are now having a conversation. All you have to do now is go out in public and have this conversation with someone else. It doesn't have to be important. It doesn't have to, it's like I told you, small wins. Small wins will get you there. Compliment a stranger. Yeah, I'm an example. Now, Rocket Pal, stop hating. Because now it's a joke. We all know it's a joke. But you're doing the thing where you're seeing someone else's happiness, and now you're hating. We all know it's a joke, but people do that unironically. Instead of hating on somebody, why don't you just get what they have? Not literally, obviously, but my hair got messed up, so I asked my mom to make me bald, and I got bald happy. What do you mean your hair was messed up? And bald? Surely you could have cut it short. You wanted to be bald? But now we're having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't... The loneliness fix is a really complicated situation because you have to be proactive about a situation in order to fix loneliness. But if you don't reach out, no one is going to know that you want other people that you want people to reach out to you. What did I just say, chat? How do you get what you want? Ask. Just ask. If you want people to talk to you more, start talking to more people and then ask people to talk to you. It's gonna feel weird to ask for what you want, but that's what you have to do. You gotta ask people. Like, I got my hair cut into an upper horizontal style. That's how I saw it. I have no idea what you're talking about. Whatever haircut you're talking about, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm confused. All right, I think we're just about wrapping up, yeah. So we're summarizing now. You have the Polnareff special. Yeah, did you look like Polnareff? Is that what you mean? Or did you have a short haircut where like your bangs were like up here? What does that mean? All right, we're wrapping up. So, surprisingly a good stream. Oh, the stream's not over. The stream isn't over because I still want to play Trails in the Sky. I just wanted to talk about this because we were talking about it in the Discord. I've wanted to do a stream like this for a very long time, where we just talk about shit. This is gonna be a fucking Comic Sans. It's fine. All right. Happiness is something you make. Freedom is something you take. Small wins. Right? Process your feelings. All right, and we're going to make a little sub note here. Write about how you feel. Write about why you feel. No. Well, write about how that makes you feel, if you don't know. Yeah, a little sub note here. Process your feelings. What else did we say? Change is good. It doesn't feel like it, but it's good. It's good for you. Not everything can stay the same. It is okay that something different is happening. I feel pretty bonita. Is bonita the same in Filipino than it is in Spanish? Why not? This looks like one of those inspiration posters you would see in the school library or teacher's wall. That's because it's in Comic Sans. Stop writing shit in Comic Sans. I know I'm doing it right now. That's because I'm too lazy to change the font. Don't put projects in Comic Sans. Right. It is okay to feel bad. It's okay to feel bad. I think most importantly, do get off your ass and do something. You got to do something. Because if you don't do something, everything's going to stay the fucking same. Don't listen to him. Comic Sans makes yourself look more professional. No. You just have to find some shitty clip and you'll be golden. I have a good clip.
So we'll get some flowers, because this spot here is where Sam died. It's very sad.
Oi, walk away, you little prick.
All right, Grandad, keep your wig on.
Thanks, Roy. Yeah, you're good.
Hey, Sam, come here a sec.
Coach, I'm sorry.
You know what the happiest animal on earth is? It's a goldfish. You know why?
No.
It's got a 10-second memory. Be a goldfish, Sam. Yeah? Yeah, you got it. Go ahead.
Yeah, do you know what he means by that? Do you know what he means by be a goldfish? Do you know what that means? Anyone want to take a guess? What does he mean by be a goldfish? Forget about it. Forget about it. Forget it. Yeah, you made a mistake. Brush it off. Learn from your mistake. Move on. Brush it off. It's okay. It's okay. Brush it off. Water off a duck's back. You made a mistake. It wasn't perfect the first time. Everyone is so scared of failure, but for what? Failure is good. That means you can learn from your mistake and do better the next time. It's okay to fail. So here we go. You wanted shitty art? Oh, that's not even... Be a goldfish. Basha, you were... excuse me. You were specifically mentioning that you were scared of going out and getting... and fucking up, and you were afraid of the consequences of fucking up. It's okay to fuck up. Now, some things are going to be worse than other things, and then you just learn. If you've had past failures before, if you've had past failures before, learn why those things failed that time, and then don't make those mistakes. Be a goldfish. It's okay to fuck up. It's okay to mess up. I've been paid some stock photo of kids cheering. The reason why I'm not doing that is because that's going to take a lot longer than you think it's going to take. That's why I just drew the picture of the fish. You know, the way that I drew that last fish was kind of like the infinity sign. It was kind of like the logo. I'm secretly a goldfish, chat. The common statement that you remember that one thing that embarrassed you in school 8 years ago and everybody else already forgot. What's worse than that is that people forgot within the same hour that you remember. Like, that stuck with you your entire life, but they forgot the same hour it happened. If you still remember it, you have a little bit of social anxiety. And me too, man. It's hard. It's hard to deal with. Everyone in this stream will become a goldfish. Good. Become a goldfish, chat. All right. So here's the plan. I think we've gotten a good bit of this motivational stuff here, unless anyone wants to add on some shit. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll play some trails for about like an hour or so, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow. How about that? Sound good? Sound like a good plan? The only people who remember that thing that happened are the people who know you personally or someone who wants to bully you. The people who want to bully you are pathetic anyway. They just want to feel better about themselves. That's all bullies are, bullying other people because they're trying to find some kind of superiority in making someone else feel worse. That's all that is. Just become unbothered. Become a goldfish. Because if they're not getting a reaction out of you, then they're not getting what they want, and then they're losing. That's all they want. They want the reaction out of you. So just don't give them the satisfaction. Be a goldfish. Become the boulder. Boulders are fragile. That's what Toph taught me. I feel like my ability of not giving a shit has gotten a lot better recently. That's good. I'm happy for you. Also, if you guys want to be a really good friend, what you should do, you should celebrate your friends' wins. That's very awkward and hard to do, because it's hard to think about. It's a hard thing to think about. But if someone does something, tell them they did a good job. Tell them that you're happy for them. A little goes a long way. Celebrate your friends' wins. The thing is that a lot of people don't know what they're supposed to be doing because they don't have a model for it, because our parents did not teach us what we were supposed to do. Be a model. Be a role model. Be the person that you want to be. Be the ideal that you want to see. But who's going to celebrate my wins? Celebrate your own wins. Celebrate other people's wins. Celebrate wins. If everybody starts doing that, the world would be a happier place. So congratulations to everyone. Gave Weeds congratulations on not giving a shit about what other people think. Everybody give congratulations to Landy for getting out of their comfort zone, taking a job in a place they are actively uncomfortable with, and trying to make themselves more social. Everybody give congratulations to Batra for listening to us tell him he's living his fucking life wrong, because that's really hard to do too. So even if Batra doesn't take a single thing we said here today to heart, he sat here and listened to all of it, and that's something worth celebrating too. No, I'm not saying you got to give a gold star and get the participation ribbon for everything, right? But you got to be happy about something, man. You got to be happy. You got to find something to be happy about. Otherwise, you're just going to be miserable. All right. I'm going to take a quick 3-minute, and then we'll be back with game. Let's play game.